is also based at Edgbaston Reservoir and often race sailing boats around marked course. Windsurfers also use the reservoir. So if I was a young person, I'd get involved in that kind of thing because you learn the skill of windsurfing, and then when you get down to Cornwall and the big waves down there, or maybe one day you go to California, you'll know what to do. Now, if I had the money and I was younger, I did try to buy a property here once before, because all these houses along here, they're back onto here. You can imagine coming down at 5 o'clock in the morning with your flask of coffee and going and do 4 or 5 laps around here on a Sunday morning or any morning. Wonderful. Can we see that turf volley? No, you still can't see it. We'll do in a minute. The reservoir perimeter provides a pleasant route for joggers with a gravel and tarmac path. This is it now. It's only recently been put there. It was gravel, and then they've put some kind of cement gravel on top. I mean, I've lost my footing several times walking around here, twisting my ankles, but now it's all perfectly flat and level. See, look at this lovely house that they've put there. It's just nice, isn't it? You know, you're walking down your back garden there, sitting up the top there with a coffee or something Sunday morning, looking out at the water. Listen to the birds. Lots of weed around here. I can smell weed. And the fishing season runs from the 16th of June to the 14th of March. Licences are available from the for proper. Since August 2021, Edgbaston Reservoir has been hosted at a weekly park run. The route covers 2 laps of the reservoir and takes place at 9 AM each Saturday. Right. Weather. The reservoir usually has a gentle breeze across it due to the lack of large buildings or objects surrounding it. Well, you will see that, you know, on one side you've got industrial Birmingham, commercial Birmingham, city centre basically, and on the other side, if you look, you'll see leafy green Edgbaston. Oh, there's the swans. Quite a few swans here recently. This is somebody's backyard. Look, he's put a few seats there, and he comes and sits on that chair there with his wife, and he's got a bird, Avery, there, and lovely. I'd love to buy. Well, it's too late for me. I'm late 50s. I suppose I could do, but nah, I don't want the upheaval. So this is the other boatyard. We're coming up to it now. In the summer, the reservoir is often extremely busy, with members of the public coming for picnics and walks around the reservoir's perimeter path. It's true. It's a beautiful place. And it's free. It's free, you know. Sometimes, if they could charge it, they would. But Birmingham City, well, it's not the Birmingham City Council. I think it is. I think they've got some kind of stake in it or interest in it. But it said it's run by the Birmingham Water people, didn't it? Here's the sailing club. They recently had this painted on the back wall a few years ago. It reminds me of a Tesco carrier bag. But it was painted by a graffiti artist or an artist. Probably was a graffiti artist himself at some point. It says, painted by I Create, Not Destroy. There's a picture of William Ward and Thomas Telford. And there's the fella between them who's tightrope walking across the reservoir. It's got, there's the 2 towers, look. There's the water tower and there's the folly. See, the folly's got like a kind of a castle thing around the top. Does it remind you of the, sorry man, yeah, I can't get no worries. Does it remind you of the Tolkien thing? It looks like they're affiliated with Elizabeth Ray and HM Yacht Britannia 1953, so there must have been something happening there. And this is the boatyard. It's the Icknield port entrance. The gates are open. They do allow vehicles in here, but it's not such a big car park. But the people who come to park here, I believe, come in for the boatyard, you know, for this place here. And they've got this building on the side. It's been abandoned for years. If it's the water people or the council, come on lads, sort it out. This should be a cafe or something, or a clubhouse, something for a come by yard church group or something. I mean, look at it, it's wonderful. Look at the size of that. I mean, so they did open it a few years ago, and there was some organisation dealing with it. But essentially, it's a resource that's just not being used. Maybe the building's got structural problems, but come on, fix it. Come on, don't tell me you haven't got the money for it. You're supposed to be the custodians of our future, and you're allowing it to go to pot. You know, if the council control it, shame on you. You know, you're quite happy spending money on absolute rubbish. This is the kind of thing that people need. These are pop-in centres. It could be anything for any grade. It could be clay making. You know, you could have kids coming from local schools to learn clay and then go for a walk around the reservoir to keep fit. Something, anything. Just use your imagination. The problem is that the Birmingham City Council are not run by real people. They're run by plastic people. Because real people would do something about things like that. Now, this is the dam. I've had me moan. Take it as feedback, lads, just feedback. This is a kind of a dance centre or a function suite on Newport Road. Now, there's tens of thousands of dwellings being built around here. If I was a young person, young man, young girl, I'd be buying something around here because you've got access to this leisure facility. And the value of the property is only going to go up. And if better still, buy yourself a 2-3 bedroom apartment, stretch yourself, live in one bedroom, rent out the other, let the rent pay for the mortgage, get another one in 5 years' time, and just keep 10 years, 15 years' time, you'll have a portfolio of properties that you can just rent out and just walk around here all day if you want. Now there's leafy green Edgbaston, right? Oh, isn't that just glorious? And there, I don't know if you can see it, directly in front of us, down there, is the top of the Folly. To the right, well, your left, I think it is the water tower. And to the right, or your left of that, is the Folly just sticking out above the top. See? And you see that church over there? I think that's St Paul's Church. It's in a square. I've only ever been there twice in my life. It's just a lovely, lovely little area. Old established Birmingham, you know, Birmingham money, rich money, built it. I can imagine on a Sunday morning the church bells would have been dinging away. People coming out their big houses, mansion-style houses, going to church for spiritual guidance and development. It must have been a wonderful place to live. It's all gone. Anyway, down here is the Hockley Loop. Let's see if we can get closer and have a look. We'll see it a bit closer as we get up there. So the sluice gates would be opened. The water flows down into there. That site down there is a boatyard for maintaining the canal. So the barges that are there, they go along just basically sweeping up the rubbish off the water all the way around the canal system. It's their maintenance yard. And good morning. And you know, to the right of it is a big plot of land, and further over there's another plot. On the other side there's big plots of land being developed. Nice houses, but modern houses, you know. But they try to maintain some kind of like townhouse kind of feel. But you know, they're houses that are built, they're not built to last. 30, 40 years they'll be falling down. They're not like the way they used to build them. The way they used to build them also was not efficient from a heating point of view and a car, you know. But they're still standing, you know, after over 100 years. But even though brick is meant to deteriorate, you know. And that's the boatyard, look. It's got like some of the old houses there, the old sheds. It's lovely, 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 lovely. And there is the Midland boat station at the end. To the right of it, my left, your right, is a Buddhist temple. You know, I think this is what I've got to do. I think I've got to come down here and run. I've got to start running. I'm going to start doing insanity. And The previous boat station was a small little awkward shaped building. It's been demolished. To the right of it was the Tower Ballroom, the ice skating rink. That's gone. The people that have owned that obviously haven't got planning permission to build on it for maybe what they wanted, so they put it up for sale because maybe the council objected and said, no, you've got to build this or build that, and they didn't want to, because I would imagine that a large portion of it would have to be social housing, and they probably wanted to build affluent apartments, high value, high net worth apartments. Apartments for high net worth individuals rather. So all down there is all going to be developed. As you can see right across the way over there, there's loads of building going up, massive building over there, building everywhere. And behind this is a big plot of land as well, owned by the council. It's currently like a car park, but I would imagine that all this area has got to be developed into housing. For sure they're going to have some affluent properties here, because why wouldn't you? There'll be a big demand. Some people will definitely want to live here. But originally there was talk of shops all the way along there. Maybe that's what the local residents are objecting to, but the local people, or the people that were protesting several weeks ago, they should be in town collecting money to get a plan together, to obtain funding from the National Lottery to develop this spot into a community centre with all sorts of drop-in facilities, laundries. I think this is it's definitely the overflow. So when it overflows, the water goes off, but I think it's there was a pool here. So the pool would have had a stream and it would have streamed off. This would have been the original stream or a manufactured stream, so that it probably does connect up with something. It doesn't. I don't think it goes into the canal. The canal has controlled water for feeding system. This is an overflow, so this will go off into some stream or a river ray or something like that. I'm not sure. I should follow it through, but you'll see. Save women's sports, fairness for females. Well, it seems to me that all these, okay, boys, there's girls there, look, girls, females. But you see these days you can't say who's a female, can you? Because you're not allowed to. But from what I can see, women's sports, okay, yeah, women's sports. Women having to compete with men who are supposed to be women. Oh yeah, I get it. I think they're right. But I'd rather suspect that a man has put that there.